Well, hello everyone. It's May 17th. We're right in the thick of college graduation season. And that is what I would like to talk about today, actually. I have 7 years of post-high school college work. I've got a bachelor's degree in English from what used to be Longwood College. It's now Longwood University. And then I went in the Peace Corps. And when I came home, about 2 years later, I decided to go to graduate school because I was waiting tables and hating it. And I went into a dual program for social work and public health. It was in part because the University of South Carolina had a fellowship program for former volunteers. And I ended up not doing that program, but I stayed with the program that they were offering that fellowship for. It was a dual master's program. So I was there for 3 years. And I had every intention, when I graduated, of working in the field. And my life didn't work out that way. I ended up becoming an overeducated housewife. And I've written about it extensively. I even have a blog called that. And I've gotten so much shit from people for calling myself the overeducated housewife because they think I'm putting on airs. But the name came about because one day I'd been married to Bill for about 8 years. And we were in Georgia where we were living. And because of the many moves involved with being in the Army lifestyle, I was just never able to use that education the way I intended to. And there I was cleaning the toilet. And it occurred to me, I went to college for 7 years and I'm cleaning a toilet. Not that I'm too good for it, but just that's kind of what ended up happening. And people are probably going to get the wrong idea as I say this. I'm actually glad it worked out the way it did. I don't think I was cut out for that field, social work and public health. And I probably would be unemployed now anyway, thanks to Doge. And life has turned out okay, really. We're better off than we were. I use that education, I just don't use it in the career that I thought I would. And a lot of people feel like if you're not raising a bunch of children, or you're not in a career, or you're not doing both, then you're wasting your time, you're not doing anything productive, and that isn't true. It isn't true. There's so many ways to get through life. But the reason I bring up Longwood is because that is where I learned to sing. I did not sing at all when I was growing up. I mean, I would sing to the radio and all, but I would never sing in front of people. My parents were musicians. My dad was a singer. My mom was an organist for the church. And my dad was in a whole lot of different ensembles. And he was always getting solos. And when I was very young, I hated to hear him sing. Other people loved it, but I didn't. And I was pretty obnoxious about it. And we didn't get along very well for many reasons. But when I went to Longwood, it was a liberal arts university, and everybody had to take a certain core of courses. And for the arts, we had choice of dance, theater, art, or music. Well, I'm not much of a dancer. I do have a sister who actually was a pretty good dancer. She actually went to the Royal Ballet School in London. We don't look anything alike. We have the same parents, but she is a good dancer. I like to draw, but I'm not particularly good at it. I have another sister who's an artist, but she would have chosen that. I probably would enjoy theater, but I just didn't really want to take a theater class. For some reason, I like music, and I've always liked music. I was attracted to it, so I decided to take music appreciation, which I didn't want that class. I actually wanted a different class, but I couldn't get into it. So I took that one, and I took a voice class. And the class was actually taught by a woman whose mother worked a lot with my dad. Her mother was a concert pianist and worked as an accompanist for my dad's ensembles. And so she was teaching as an adjunct professor at Longwood in 1990, and she taught that voice class. And she one day pulled me aside and said, "You know, you really have a gift for this. You probably ought to be studying privately." So I did. I took lessons, and she helped me get into Longwood's audition choir, which was Camerata Singers. I'd never sung in a choir before, and in fact, I did not get in on the first try because I was really nervous and didn't really know how to sight read very well. But I actually have perfect pitch, so later when I demonstrated that to the choir director, he was happy to welcome me. But it changed my life. It changed my life to be able to be in this choir, be a part of a group, be in something I was good at, and get to go on trips and represent the college. And it also gave me first day registration for my courses, so I would always get the professors I wanted and everything. And later I developed the confidence to perform, and when I went to Armenia, I used that ability I taught children English, but I also used it to bond with the natives. And I used to go to jazz clubs and drink a lot of beer and get up and sing with the band. And I ended up meeting a lot of people that way. I even got to sing with the opera choir in Yerevan. I would never have done this had it not been for Longwood and that small college that I was at. Now I come back. Part of this is my musical interests, I guess, is another. It led to so many different things. When I came home from Armenia, I was a bit depressed for a lot of reasons. Some of it was hereditary, but a lot of it had to do with the circumstances at that time. And I took lessons, and it was helpful in getting over depression. Of course, my dad decided he needed to compete with me, and he also took lessons from the same guy, which I didn't really appreciate, but it changed my life. And I make videos now. I make music videos, which some people like, and it helps me stay sane, I think. Writing and making music are what I do to stay sane. I also have made some money writing, and that was really what I wanted to be when I was in high school in the first place. That's why I got a degree in English and minors in speech and communications. But of course, when I got out of college, it was like, who's going to hire me? And that's part of the reason why I went to Armenia. And then I came back from Armenia and I had trouble finding work, and so I decided to wait tables and then decided to go to graduate school. I see a lot of people saying, though, that college is a scam. And for me, it was not a scam. It was life-changing. And no, it did not lead me to a great career in terms of like how much money I make or how prestigious I am. But it opened my mind and it opened my horizons. I still have friends from my college days. I still know some of the professors from Longwood. Some of them are retired now, but some of them are dead now. But it changed my life. And I'm grateful. And the world needs people that are artistic. So I just want to put that out there. So it's husband's just now come back, and so I'm going to close the video and maybe do some writing. But that's pretty much all I want to say.